Okay, good morning, everybody. I was waiting for Tamia to come on, but I'm just gonna go on. Everybody's ready. I wanted to, I'm always gonna teach you guys a lesson about certain things that are going on in the world. So I want you guys to listen up. Is there a reason you're writing? Okay. Let's. Today, have you guys ever heard of something called household wickedness?
No.
What do you think it means? Just by the sound of it, household wickedness.
When the house is wicked itself?
That could mean household. See, you got a house, but it's the people in the house.
That's what I was going to say, people in the house.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be the people that live in your house. It can be anybody that you are close to that understands your secrets. I looked over the years and I looked at some of the things that I've been through, and I always noticed that anytime something happened to me or with me, it was somebody that I knew. It took a while to figure it out, but it didn't necessarily have to be a relative. It could have been somebody I befriended or somebody it could have been an employee. That's considered as household. And so it's somebody close to you. Have you guys, you teenagers, ever feel like you told somebody something and they turned on you, or they used it against you or something like that? That's called household wickedness. That's called household wickedness. Usually, when you are destroyed, you think about it with the people. You know why they said just let the blacks hurt each other? That's called household wickedness. In the Bible, David said, if it was an enemy, turn it down. If it was an enemy that did this to me, I could see this coming. So you already know. You're a female and you got a female friend. You tell her all your secrets. And I remember growing up, I was in kindergarten. My name is Rhonda. And it was another girl named Rhonda in my kindergarten class. Literally, household wickedness started for me at kindergarten. My grandmother had bought me this coat. I'll never forget it. It was a burgundy coat. And my mother paid attention to it. She could tell you to this day, everything that I got, this girl got. So her mother would wait. So I never thought about maybe the girl's mother had something against my mother. I never thought about that. Maybe the girl's mother had something against my grandmother. I mean, mother.
Like just because your name was Ron and her name was Ron, she felt that you guys had to dress alike.
No, that had to be from the parent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Parent.
Yeah, and that's not right because we weren't friends.
Exactly.
So, but we were close enough for her to know what I was wearing. So she would go get everything. What would you just say?
I got a question. Like, when you would tell somebody everything, they would use it against you, like blackmail?
Blackmail, and say for instance, you said you like this particular boy. And you sit on the phone with your friend. You got your music, or y'all got your music playing, and you're talking at night. Girl, I'm gonna get to school tomorrow. I'm gonna have my hair done up, and I'm gonna meet him at his locker or whatever. But you get to school, she beats you to it. She's hanging around and everything. But you told her you was wearing your pink outfit because he likes pink. You show up. She's hanging out around his locker and she got on pink. So she done got to him first. That's called household wickedness. It happens all the time. It's worse. Majority of the time, if you're ever going to be betrayed, growing up or anything, it's going to be by somebody you know. It's going to be by somebody you know. We do trust a lot of people. We do trust sooner than later. My thing is, there's some people you know not to trust. Straight up. If the devil walked in here today with horns, a pitchfork, and fire all around him, you're going to be like, I can't trust him. He the devil. But if he walks up in here and he looks like a guy that you dreamed about last night, you're going to be like, oh, he the one. Not knowing that he's the devil. When Judas betrayed Jesus, he did it with a kiss. Kissed him on the cheek to tell the enemy, here, he's right here. It was his own person that knew all of his secrets. It's a person that knew where he hung out at. It could be a sibling, Cain and Abel. Cain, the first murder was committed by an envious brother. It still can be siblings. Remember Joseph? They threw him in a pit and then eventually sold him into slavery and told his dad that he was eaten by a ferocious animal and brought his coat of many colors back to him. I heard somebody said that his brothers were so jealous of him. Joseph had a dream. He said, I had a dream that you guys were stars and you were bowing to me. And his brothers were so caught up on them bowing, they didn't realize that Joseph said that they were stars. Some people get so caught up and threatened by who you are that they forget that they are supposed to be somebody. So you're stars, but you don't realize, but you're so caught up because you got to bow to him. And eventually, years later, 18 years later, they bowed. But be best assured, Joseph did not give them the portion they probably should have gotten. I mean, I love y'all, but I'm in the palace. I'm going to give you some land over here. We can't dwell together. David said, if it was my enemy, I would have understood. But it was the one that I went to church with daily. You're supposed to be hanging out. We praising God together. We worshiping God together. But you're the one that's betraying me. I'm telling you my secret. You know my prayer request. I call you and ask you to pray with me about the situation. And you use that as a judgment. Samson, you know the hard part about Samson was? Now this is where it gets to the crazy part. Somebody can be close and really do something bad to you. You're really concerned because you're like, but that's family. Or that's my best friend. How can I know they meant to hurt me, but how do I retaliate with something like that and they're that close? That's why the enemy uses household wickednesses against us. Because he figures, if it's an enemy, you're not going to have no problem going to war. Because you have nothing to lose. But if it's somebody that you're close to, that person can be there, stealing from you, destroying you, and you're going to fight within yourself because I can't hurt them. But they're hurting you. So that's why the enemy will use household wickedness. The story of Samson is really a really bad story of household wickedness. You always hear about Delilah, but you never realize that it was Samson's people who took him to the guy. Samson was like, you are my people. So what I'm going to do is this. You guys lead me to where I need to go. I can't destroy my people. I was sent to help you. Now you done sold me out to my enemy. But I was sent to help you, so I'm not going to destroy you. So lead me to where I need to be. You let them just go ahead and give me over to them. Because I'm going to kill them. But I can't kill you. Isn't that hard? It could be it could be a spouse. It could be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be a sibling. It could be a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a pastor. Somebody that you're kicking it with on a regular. It can be that very person you're telling all of your secrets to. They know your left and your right, your ups and downs. They know the worst part. I believe the worst household wickedness is your family. They know everything about you, especially if they grew up in a house with you. Oh, she don't like syrup on her stuff. So if you're going to come against her, put syrup on her stuff because she don't like syrup. You know, or you'll see that they'll hang out with your friends or, you know, something like that and be like, they're my friends. Or they know that they'll use their your weaknesses against you. So today my basic lesson is this. Have you experienced anything in your life? You know what used to bother me? And I taught my son this, and this may have been mean. People didn't realize it. He had certain toys that he liked. And they were his favorite toys. Turn it down. When people came to our house, I would put all the toys out. What toys do you think the kids would only want to play with?
His favorite toys.
His favorite toys. And they would try to break them. So guess what I told him at one point? Rather than us, because you know, some parents, well, we'll just put the toys away. We're not putting the toys away. They can't play with them. Don't touch them. You shouldn't have to put your stuff away because somebody got a problem. And a lot of times, parents do that because they don't want to make other kids feel bad. Now, there's times when I would take my son out with other kids, I buy them all the same thing. But that's my child. Parents started expecting, well, if you're going to take the kids out, we want them to be just like your son. And when I would say no, they would get angry and curse me and my son. You don't want to do it. But you want me to do it. But I didn't birth that child. You did. Or you'll look up and you'll be the one that's always being a blessing to somebody all the time. They never done anything nice for you. Watch that. Watch that. If you're always the giver and that person can never do anything nice for you, watch that. That's a sign. That is a sign. That's a one-sided relationship. They call it an ungodly soul tie. That is a sign. You're always, every time you go out, you always want buying everything. But on their time, you see them somewhere down the line, you can be like, okay, we going to the mall together. You guys keep going to the mall together. Every time you go to the mall, you buying lunch. Then all of a sudden, you're like, I'm not fooling with them no more. Because I'm always buying everything. All of a sudden, you decide you want to go to the mall. You go to the mall, and you see them at the churros place and Aunt Nancy, whatever the pretzel place, and they got an outfit, and could mess around and be with another set of friends. They want to do everything you do. So what they do is they figure, okay, if I move you out of the way, that's how you get a lot of it, even in the, the industry, where a lot of people are killing off each other. In that rap game and all that, it's not nobody from the outside that's doing it. It's usually somebody from the inside, either doing it to the person or telling somebody that comes from the outside to do it to them. That's usually what happens. But it's usually somebody, good morning, but it's usually somebody close. Usually somebody very close. You have to watch. It could be a neighbor. It could be an employer. It could be an employee. It could be anybody. So, understand that if anything ever happens to you, it's going to be by somebody close. Don't assume that it's somebody over down the street that saw you at Walmart one day that they did something to you. Don't assume that. They don't know your whereabouts. They don't know who you are. It's somebody that you told all your secrets to. You told them your favorite. You haven't just seen something like you like certain things, certain types of handbags or whatever. All of a sudden you look up, they all got the same ones. Like, wait, where they come from? So now what you have to do is you got to shop where you know they can't shop. Or keep your mouth shut. Now this is what would be very wise. If you want to know whether somebody is really on that trip against you, even if you're connected to them, do something without telling them. Your enemies, worse, they can say they're a friend or close or whatever. Watch somebody you want to know everything you're doing. They always asking, what y'all doing? What you up to? You know why they want to know that? They want to know the next step so they can beat you to it. Don't tell them nothing. See what they do. See what they do. If you used to tell them, yeah, I only wear Gucci shoes. And before you know, you look up and they got Gucci shoes. One day show up with Louis Vuitton. But I thought you was wearing, I'm going to tell you exactly how bad it was. The house that I was in, an ex-friend, I told her I was going to be moving to another city. This was a couple of years ago. I said, well, I'm going to move. I like St. John better. No, don't move. Well, why not? I tried to get this. I went and got the same house you got. You what? You what? And if you move, my husband is not going to move again. We just got this house. You what? But you got a house I didn't even like. That's the messed up part. I got this house because it was available, not because I liked it. You thought I got it because I liked it. Mess your enemies up. But I'm gonna get these Coach shoes because that's what that's all she wears is Coach shoes. No, I got them because they on sale. I really prefer Gucci shoes. So you walking around wearing Coach everything, and I really don't even like Coach. I got them because they was on sale and they were cute. So today that is a lesson in household wickedness. Can you guys see some of that? Whatever you do, make sure you're not on the other end though. That you're not the wicked one. That you're the one watching somebody else, wanting everything they have and doing everything that they're doing. Because this is what you have to understand. There's a judgment that comes on your life. Yeah.
One day, I was 4 years old, but I was in a thing where babies be in, and then, it was like, and then I talked to a stranger.
Oh.
And you've been talking to a whole lot of strangers.
Yeah, don't talk to strangers. You're too young, okay? It's yes. What you have?
I just want friend.
You'll get a best friend, trust me. Okay, go ahead.
So like, if you have like a wicked household and your best friend is copying you, like, and she just jealous, what if you make her spend all her money and she don't have enough money to get what you get after?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. In my own mind of being, at times I had been vindictive. Absolutely.
Vindictive.
Absolutely. Vindictive is, I'm gonna pay you back.
Oh yeah.
That would be, you know what? I'm not gonna say put that much effort into it, but you do have to throw them off of your scent. Because they're so focused on everything. I had to, I was one that after a while, I figured because I was so disconnected from everybody, and all of a sudden you'll look up, and I would go behind closed doors. I wouldn't tell anybody that I was doing anything, and I would come out with all this stuff, like whether it was a business or whether it was all this stuff. Never tell anybody. So after a while, I felt, well, maybe something is wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. Then I started telling everybody. Then it was like everybody kept trying to one-up me. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm telling you because I want to be of encouragement, but I didn't actually think that you would use it as competition. So what I'll do to throw you off, I'll give 1 cent when it's really another. So I'll tell you one thing when it's really not. So let me tell you, and let me give you an example, and then I'm going to close this out. Years ago, I got ready to move to Maryville with my business. We were in our church, and I got ready to open up the bigger building, right? So everybody I told that I was moving, all of a sudden everything started falling apart. I had no strangers to talk to. So everybody I talked to, oops, I'm sorry, to me, I don't have, good morning, I'm sorry, we're in class discussion. Everybody that I talked to was close. So if everybody that I'm talking to is close, and I only talk to people in family and church, why is everything falling apart? So I told them, because I looked at one particular building, and I told everybody that that's the one I was getting. People started driving by it. All kinds of stuff. People, well, I wanted that building. People started claiming it. You what? Well, if you wanted it, why didn't you just go get it? Well, they started driving past and everything. Miss Ronnie, yeah, I'll be there. I'm working on it soon. Not realizing that during that time, another building showed up. That's the one I took. And didn't nobody know that it was it until it came out in the newspaper. And they're like, well, what happened? I didn't tell you. Because I realized I could trust nobody. Nobody. Some things you're going to have to keep to yourself. And God created us to be people that love to be around people. We love to tell our business. That's why I came on Facebook for so much, because Facebook makes you want to tell your business. So now all I do is post reels so I can get paid for them. But other than that, I really don't have any conversation. I really don't have a desire to put any of my business out there. And so you'll find yourself, because we're communable people. That's why it says, don't forsake the assembling of yourself, coming to church and everything. And that's why a lot of people say when they came to church, a lot of their hurt took place in church. That was because we are connected as a community. So we share instances, and we share experiences, and we share all kinds of stuff. I noticed some things I've shared that it became such a setback. But I didn't share it with people in the street. I shared it with people that I knew, that I thought had my best interest at heart. And then all of a sudden I shared it, and I noticed before I shared it, everything was moving. And after I shared it, I noticed that everything either slowed down or came to a complete stop. What does that say? Somebody didn't have my best interest at heart. I can tell you today, I'm going to go buy a new car. And what type of car I'm buying. If you were adults, it's all of you in this class. Do you know you would have all a different opinion? Why does she think she getting a car? Oh, happy for her. I wonder what kind of car she getting. I want a car. Do you know how much energy is going out there? And before you know, I get to the dealership and some don't show up. But if I just go show up with the car, hey, I ain't give you time to have an opinion. So today, that's what I'm going to keep with you. What are the two words?
Household wickedness.
Household wickedness. Household wickedness. I've told you some of the examples, and be best assured, it does not start when you get grown. A lot of times it's when you're a child. Watch that kid that fights you over your toy. It's your toy. Your toy. I always know a jealous child right off the bat. Some kids are just like a particular toy. Some kids want your toy. And this is the worst part. You can have something and they'll be around their parent and they'll want it from you. And you'll feel obligated to give it to them. Because if you don't give it to them, guess what they do? They'll fall out. Or they'll go tell, Mom, I want that. I'll tell them in a minute, you're not getting it. And then you know what I tell the parents? Sure sign of jealousy. I said no. And that's what they want anyway. So they figure, I'll come tell my mama and tell your mama come get it. It's not going to happen. But people will do it. Kids will do it. Watch that. Okay? So we're going to go into our lessons for the rest of the day. Okay?